Oklahoma 17, Missouri 6. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but it's a win. Oklahoma scored both of its touchdowns in the second quarter. Long pass to Isaiah Satania, 87 yards, and then a touchdown off a short field created by defense and special teams. Where have I heard that before with the Oklahoma Sooners? So I told you going into this game that Missouri's defense does not get enough credit. That was very much the case. And early on, it felt like Missouri might be poised for an upset in this spot. Didn't wind up coming to fruition because they, didn't score a touchdown and didn't register a point in the second half. Brent Venables' defense is very good. If Oklahoma wins next week when they take on, wait for it, they've got LSU, who almost lost to Western Kentucky. That's a thing that almost happened. LSU beat Western Kentucky 13-10. Explain that one, SEC homers. So the Sooners beat Missouri 17-6, and if they beat LSU next week, there will be no questions, no ifs, ands, buts, nothing. You will not hear a peep from me about Oklahoma going to the playoff because they should absolutely be in. If they lose next week, you will hear me come on the show and tell you that I don't want to see Oklahoma anywhere near the college football playoff. So it's a play-in game for the Sooners, which is exciting. I love regular season play-in games. It's what has always made college football different from every other sport. Now, here's my concern. Does Missouri have a good defense? Yes, they do. Oregon has good defense, and USC scored a lot of points. They couldn't stop the Ducks, and I'll have thoughts on that tomorrow. But the inability for Oklahoma's offense to help out the team, I'm not picking this team to make a long playoff run. And I know defense wins championships, but man, John Mateer ran the ball 18 times. That's more than the rest of the Sooners team combined. He only totaled 60 yards. The inability of Oklahoma to have an offensive line, kind of mind-boggling when you consider that this is Brent Venables' fourth season. It doesn't totally compute that they're this bad up front relative to what their potential is, or that they just have no ability to run the ball just a little. It doesn't have to be a lot, but this offense is straight up bad. It's a tough watch. It doesn't look like there is a lot of flow. It doesn't look like there's a cohesive execution of the game plan. I don't see anything about the Oklahoma offense I like. Here's something that I will make a prediction on right now. And I would, well, I was about to say I'd bet a lot of money that this would happen, but, trust my bets was college football. Not a good idea. Fading them, a very good idea. Anyway, if Oklahoma beats LSU and goes to the playoff, in that first playoff game, I bet Oklahoma runs John Mateer about as much as they did in this game, maybe more. I think you could see the Sooners offense turn into some variation of Georgia Tech with Haynes King, where they just run the entire system through the quarterback in the air and on the ground. But he does not have receivers that can help him out. USC against Oregon, they were the second best team on the field, but they had a chance to win despite sloppy play on both sides and questionable officiating. USC can throw the ball to receivers and they'll go help their quarterback out make a play. Isaiah Satania was schemed to be open. Now he's a great player. He's really fast. But coming out of this win, and I get on the paper for the committee, it's a ranked win for Oklahoma. I don't view it that way because I didn't rank Missouri in my top 25 coming into this week. I considered them, but I didn't put them in there. On my fan mood assessment here, this is a no vibes outcome for Oklahoma because I'm just seeing the same problem and limitation. It's going to beat them at some point. Yes, their defense and special teams are top tier, which is why they're in this position. They have made it to this point to control their own fate to the playoff in spite of the offensive struggles, not because of what the offense has brought to the table. So yes, I can trust the Oklahoma defense and their special teams to do a lot of good things for the team and give them a chance to win, no matter who their opponent is. I'm not questioning that. This is not a national championship caliber team or one that I think is dangerous and could get hot. Because John Mateer, it feels on a weekly basis, I'm going to pull up the numbers real quick. He feels more likely to throw for less than 200 yards than over in any given game. And it doesn't really matter what the game is. Since SEC play began, here are his passing totals. 271, that was against Auburn. That's his most in an SEC game. 202, completed 53% of his passes with 3 picks against Texas. That was a mess. 150, 223, 159, 138, 173. I love Oklahoma's defense. If they play anything other than darn near perfect football, Oklahoma is not going to win the game. I just do not have any faith that they're going to be able to do that. The Sooners defense has to do so much to help Oklahoma win. So much. It's not just that they're a defensively led team. There is no ability, none, for this offense to carry you to a win. It does not exist. I might be too negative at the moment about Oklahoma, but I'm just watching this team play every week and going, man, their resume is impressive, and gosh, that defense is so good in so many ways. They gave up 70 yards on the ground to Missouri, went for 325 last week against Mississippi State, who admittedly is terrible on defense. But man, their run defense, they picked off Beau Pribula twice. This is a good, solid win for Oklahoma, but I just don't see the ceiling. I don't see the upward potential yet. Long term, sure, but they got to fix the offense. They really do. So, wanted to share thoughts on that. And then also, I want to pivot to the Big Ten. This is not going to be a storyline until it becomes a big storyline, but I think it should be on your radar. Jonathan Smith has not won a Big Ten game this year at Michigan State. He is in year 2. There was plenty of reasonable expectation in East Lansing that progress would at least show up, and their only Power 4 victory is over the worst Power 4 team in the country, and that's Boston College. Boston College is truly terrible. Michigan State at home needed, I think it was double overtime to beat the Eagles. And they have not won a Big Ten yet. They almost pulled off what was looking like a surprising upset. They were 16.5-point road dogs against Iowa, and they wound up losing the game by 3 points. I think that Michigan State job could come open in the next few weeks. I don't think that's ridiculous whatsoever. I don't think it'd be absurd. You're going so far back. Michigan State was 1 win from bowl eligibility last year. But they're just finding ways to lose, and they're not competitive. It's one thing when you're Scott Frost at Nebraska, which is a pretty famous example at this point, where you're just losing close over and over, and eventually it wears on the program and drags you down. Michigan State isn't consistently losing close. They're capable of it. We see it happen. They almost beat Minnesota. They almost beat Iowa, but they can also get trounced by UCLA on their home field. They can also get waxed by any other team in the Big Ten. It's going wrong. And I don't think anyone's talking about it because the coaching carousel has such utter madness right now. I get it. I would keep an eye on Michigan State. I think that job could absolutely come open in this cycle.